Thanks a lot for having me here, Ashish. Really a pleasure to be here. As I was introduced, I in a way represent client side. While I'm based here in Pune, I work like a BPO company, or a little bit different than that. My day starts fairly late because I keep on speaking to clients in US or Europe. But we also have started working with some Australian clients, so day also starts a little early. So I have a little crazy working model. The advantage of the model, however, is you get a pulse of what clients are looking for. So what I'm going to do really over the next 45, 50 minutes is get some glimpse of what clients are thinking about it, right? And somebody showed the chart from 1995 or so about how IT has evolved. So if it has evolved, IT as a concept or IT service as an industry, if it has evolved for last 20 odd years, why are we talking about this concept new? Wasn't IT supposed to serve businesses all the time? So I'm going to bring some light to that, as we go along. And hence, I'm going to title my presentation, Defining New Business Value of IT. My ex-employer, that's Forrester, these days don't call it IT. They call it business technology. So whatever is, below the data center line, hardware and dabbas and databases, they call it IT, and what is above the water line, that's in business application, they call it business IT. And some other firms like Pfizer, Pepsi, Intel already use the term IT and BT to distinguish this differentiation. So let's not go into semantics, let's talk about what businesses, and businesses as in, a bank or a retail companies, a salesperson, or, whatever way you look at business. What value business is looking from IT? Is it making a lot of noise? So, I think, so that's what I'm going to talk about, what value businesses are expecting from technology. Very quick snapshot. This is not a sales presentation. Primary objective of this slide is to get you a view from where my data is coming, right? So I really can't call myself startup. They call up to 18 months a startup. So I'm a toddler now, you can say I have crossed that startup phase. And that's very important to mention because, during that startup phase, there's a huge mortality rate. So we have crossed that mortality rate and we're going to be around as a research company, it looks like. So, a 2.5-year-old organization, and I think what we do is we conduct a large scale of research. We go to 400 plus companies 6 monthly across North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific, and then ask them how they look at IT, how much they're going to spend, who they work with, what type of applications they will buy, how they will spend that money. Range of questions, through 40-minute conversation with each of those 400 respondents to understand, what type of spend, trend, all these things evolve. And that produces some of the content that I'm going to talk about, some of the trends that I'm going to talk about. That's the primary point I wanted to mention really from this slide as I go along.